Welcome to this explainer. You know, when you hear the Maldives, your mind probably instantly jumps to, what? Luxury resorts, crystal clear waters, perfect white sand beaches, right? It is literally the ultimate vacation spot. But managing that paradise, well, that's incredibly complex. Today, we're looking way past those tourism brochures. We're going to explore a massive, super ambitious modernization plan proposed by the Maldivian government. We're looking at how this small island nation plans to leapfrog its geographic and demographic hurdles by using artificial intelligence. And not just as a cool tech upgrade, but as a literal tool for survival and sovereignty. Let's get right into it.
200. Just think about that number for a second. The Maldives isn't one big, contiguous landmass. It's a nation scattered across more than 200 inhabited islands. Just imagine the sheer logistical nightmare of governing that. How do you deliver public services, provide healthcare, or maintain security across all those tiny, separate pockets of land, especially when you're working with really limited human capital? I mean, delivering a simple document or getting to a specialized doctor isn't just a quick drive down the street. It usually involves a boat ride or even a plane. That's the staggeringly complex reality of their day-to-day governance.
Okay, let's dive into this, because the government's proposal puts it incredibly bluntly. AI is not optional. It is a strategic necessity. For a lot of the world, AI might just seem like a flashy new way to make our workflows a little faster. But for the Maldives, it's an absolute, existential tool for nation building. It is the bridge that's going to connect those 200 isolated islands into one cohesive, efficiently run digital nation. It's all about overcoming those physical limits with digital infinite reach.
Section 1. The Island Nations Challenge.
And this brilliantly illustrates the massive shift they're trying to pull off. Currently, administrative workloads are completely bogged down by physical paperwork, that crazy geographic dispersion we just talked about, and honestly, a heavy dependency on forward workers just to keep the lights on. The grand plan here is to completely flip that vulnerability into a strength. They want to transition to automated, decentralized services driven by a highly upskilled local workforce. So, imagine being able to get whatever government service you need instantly from absolutely any island.
Section 2. Laying the AI Foundation.
So, the very first step here is establishing the National AI Authority. This is a brand new governing body sitting directly under the president's office, and their mandate is crucial, making sure AI adoption is safe, ethical, and perfectly coordinated across all sectors. But they aren't stopping there. To back this up, they're introducing the Maldives AI Act to create unified national standards. Plus, they're actually planning to appoint chief AI officers in every single government ministry. This ensures they deploy things responsibly and, crucially, drastically cuts down their dependency on outside tech vendors.
Once that foundation is locked in, the focus shifts straight to security and sovereignty. We're talking AI-powered risk profiling at their airports and seaports, right alongside facial recognition for immigration and law enforcement. But honestly, perhaps the most vital piece of the whole puzzle is AI-driven maritime surveillance for their exclusive economic zone, or EEZ. The Maldives has this absolutely massive ocean territory to monitor for illegal fishing and security threats. AI makes surveilling that vast expanse of water actually doable. Furthermore, they're turning AI inward, using it to monitor audit trails and spot procurement anomalies. Basically, they're unleashing machine learning to fight corruption and tighten up fiscal discipline.
Section 3. Upgrading daily public life.
In practice, citizen-centric AI means creating a single national mobile application where folks can process permits, licenses, and subsidies instantly. No more waiting in long lines. They're deploying multilingual AI chatbots across ministries to totally eliminate wait times. And in healthcare, it's profoundly impactful. They are bringing AI diagnostic tools right into regional hospitals and using predictive models for dengue fever outbreaks and non-communicable diseases. This literally saves lives. It means a patient on a remote island gets a rapid, accurate diagnosis without having to make an exhausting trip to the highly congested capital city of Malé. Oh, and to make sure the locals can actually run all this, they're setting up a national AI skills academy to build a future-ready talent pipeline.
Section 4. Protecting environment and economy.
For a nation sitting barely above sea level, climate change isn't some distant issue. It is an immediate, existential threat. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how the Maldives is proposing to use drones coupled with AI models to continuously monitor coastal erosion and sea level rise. Plus, they're going to deploy predictive models for deadly storms, floods, and tsunamis. The AI here is literally watching the shrinking coastlines and shifting weather patterns to drastically improve their disaster preparedness.
On the economic front, tourism is the absolute lifeblood of the Maldives. To elevate that sector, the plan details using AI for resort guest personalization and totally optimizing the incredibly complex logistics, energy, and waste management systems across the islands. They even plan to set up a tourism AI innovation lab. But what I find most compelling here is the sheer commitment to training Maldivians for brand new AI-enabled hospitality roles. It's really not just about making the resorts more efficient for tourists, it's about increasing their global competitiveness while creating high-value, tech-driven jobs specifically for the local population.
Section 5, the 10-year implementation roadmap. Let's move to and see how this builds, because a massive modernization plan like this certainly doesn't happen overnight.
Right, so a transformation of this magnitude takes real time. The implementation is actually broken down into 3 very distinct phases over 10 years. Phase 1 is the foundation stage, covering the first 2 years. Phase 2 is the expansion, taking place from years 3 to 6. And finally, Phase 3 is optimization, which runs from year 7 all the way through year 10. We're looking at a huge evolution here, starting from just establishing the authority and running initial pilots, all the way to full border control expansion, and finally reaching total predictive governance.
Just quickly breaking down the specific actions in these phases. During the setup phase in years 1 and 2, they are launching that national mobile platform we discussed and running some initial AI health and education pilots. By years 3 through 6, the integration phase kicks into high gear. This is when AI expands into all ministries, border control becomes fully AI-enabled, and that skills academy becomes fully operational. Finally, in the automation phase of years 7 to 10, they hit the ultimate goal: predictive governance systems across all sectors. You can really see how the momentum builds here toward fully automated service delivery, systematically reducing their reliance on expatriate labor.
To summarize the ultimate payoff of this 10-year plan, just look at the expected national impact. If they execute this successfully, the Maldives will enjoy much faster, far more transparent public services. They'll boast stronger national security and a tighter grip on their vast borders. They will have successfully reduced their foreign worker dependency by relying on a digitally empowered Maldivian workforce. Their climate resilience will be vastly enhanced. Ultimately, this plan results in a stronger, more resilient sovereign state, positioned as a legitimate regional leader in AI governance.
Which brings us to a final, provocative thought. So the crucial point is this: if a geographically dispersed island nation with massive logistical hurdles and limited resources can architect a unified, AI-driven state, what exactly is stopping larger, wealthier, and more contiguous nations from doing the exact same thing? The Maldives is treating AI not as some neat novelty, but as the literal foundation of their future survival and efficiency. It's a fascinating blueprint, and one the rest of the world absolutely needs to be watching closely. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and I will see you next time.